The history of the United Kingdom is a complex and fascinating tale that stretches back thousands of years. It encompasses the events, cultures, and people that have shaped the modern state we know today. Early history begins with prehistoric settlers inhabiting the British Isles over 10,000 years ago, with evidence of human activity dating back to the Paleolithic era. The most famous remnant of this ancient period is Stonehenge, constructed around 2500 BC. The Roman conquest of Britain in AD 43 and their subsequent rule brought significant changes, including the establishment of the city of Londinium, now known as London. The Romans withdrew in the early 5th century, leaving the land to be contested by various tribes. The early medieval period saw the arrival of the Anglo-Saxons, who formed several kingdoms that would eventually consolidate into the Kingdom of England by the 10th century. In 1066, the Norman Conquest led by William the Conqueror introduced Norman culture and restructured English society. The Middle Ages were marked by the Hundred Years' War with France, the Black Death, and eventually the Wars of the Roses, which resulted in the rise of the Tudor dynasty. The Tudors, particularly Henry VIII and Elizabeth I, greatly influenced the religious and political landscape, establishing the Church of England and fostering a period of exploration and cultural flourishing known as the Elizabethan era. The 17th century brought further turmoil with the English Civil War, leading to the temporary abolition of the monarchy under Oliver Cromwell's Commonwealth. The monarchy was later restored, and the Glorious Revolution of 1688 resulted in a constitutional monarchy with increased parliamentary power. The 18th century saw the union of England and Scotland in 1707 to form the Kingdom of Great Britain, followed by the inclusion of Ireland in 1801 to create the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. The Industrial Revolution began in the late 18th century, bringing dramatic economic and social changes. The British Empire expanded during the 19th century, making the UK a global superpower. The 20th century was shaped by the effects of two world wars, the subsequent decline of the empire, and the establishment of the welfare state. The outbreak of World War I in 1914 saw the United Kingdom rapidly becoming one of the principal Allied powers. As Germany's aggressive expansion threatened the stability of Europe, the UK, with its vast empire, found itself at the forefront of the conflict. The narrative begins with the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, an event that triggered a cascade of alliances and declarations of war. The UK swiftly entered the war following Germany's invasion of Belgium, honoring its Treaty of London obligations. The initial stages of the war saw the British Expeditionary Force, BEF, engaged in fierce battles on the Western Front. The Battle of Mons, showing the resolve and bravery of British forces, was one of the earliest encounters. This was followed by more grueling confrontations, such as the Battle of the Somme, where the BEF suffered enormous casualties but demonstrated incredible endurance. Meanwhile, the Royal Navy played a crucial role in maintaining naval supremacy, enforcing blockades that crippled the German economy and disrupted supply lines. In 1915, the UK also witnessed the failure of the Gallipoli campaign, a costly endeavor meant to secure a sea route to Russia. Despite these setbacks, the UK's industrial might was mobilized, with women stepping into roles traditionally held by men, symbolizing a societal shift that would have lasting impacts. The home front was punctuated by rationing, air raids, and a constant stream of war propaganda aimed to maintain public morale. Each year, commemorations like Remembrance Day originated during this period, paying tribute to the sacrifices made. 1917 brought critical changes, not least the entry of the United States into the war, bolstering the Allied efforts. The year also saw political upheaval in Russia, with the Bolshevik Revolution leading to Russia's withdrawal from the war. In 1918, the final push of the German Spring Offensive was met with fierce resistance, and the subsequent Allied counterattacks marked the beginning of the end. The signing of the Armistice on November 11, 1918, marked victory for the Allies and an end to the four-year bloodshed. The Treaty of Versailles in 1919 formally concluded the war, but also laid the groundwork for future geopolitical tensions. The UK's involvement in World War I had far-reaching consequences, reshaping its society, economy, and role on the world stage. It stood as a testament to the endurance and resilience of its people, who weathered one of the most challenging periods in modern history. As the nation honored its fallen and rebuilt in the post-war years, the legacy of sacrifice and duty continued to inspire subsequent generations. The history of the United Kingdom during World War II is one of resilience, strategic brilliance, and immense sacrifice. As the conflict began in 1939, the UK, under Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, attempted to avoid war through policies of appeasement. However, the invasion of Poland by Germany forced the UK to declare war. In 1940, Winston Churchill, a charismatic and determined leader, took over as Prime Minister, promising to defend the British Isles at all costs. The early years of the war were marked by the Battle of Britain, where the Royal Air Force, RAF, successfully defended the UK from the German Luftwaffe. This was the first major campaign to be fought entirely by air forces, and Britain's victory ensured that Germany could not achieve air superiority, effectively deterring an invasion. The post-war period also saw significant social changes, including the decolonization of Africa and the Caribbean, and the eventual formation of the Commonwealth of Nations. The late 20th and early 21st centuries have brought challenges and changes, including economic recessions, devolution of powers to Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and the controversial decision to leave the European Union, commonly known as Brexit. Today, the UK continues to play a significant role on the global stage while navigating its own complex issues of identity, governance, and its place in the world.